This meeting is now being recorded.
Hello, this is Jane Gibbon with SAP GRC. This recording will show the process I go through when customers say that risk analysis and remediation is reporting users that they do not believe should show in the risk analysis report. These are also called false positives. The purpose of this is to really show you the thought process I go through for proving to the customer that risk analysis and remediation is reporting correctly based on the rules that have been configured. Now, I don't have a script, so please bear with me if I jump around a little bit. So the first thing I'm going to show you is I'm in Risk Analysis and Remediation version 5.3. I'm going to run an analysis on this user, and it should come back fairly quickly showing that this user has a risk between posting documents and copying chart of accounts. When this is shown, management says that this cannot be correct because they feel this user, false_POS, only has the ability to display using transaction code OBY7. So the first thing I always do is I copy this risk ID and I go to the rule architect. From there, I click on the rules and go to permission rules and then put that ID in the action rule ID. This is going to show me exactly what is configured in RAR for this rule. The reason this is important is because RAR reports based on the data in the rule architect and how security logic works in SAP. The thing to understand about how security works in SAP is that each of these line items can be contained in separate roles. This is all explained in a SAP note that is referenced in my article on GRC Expert. But what that means is that the user can get the transaction code OBY7 from one role, yet get the authorization as taboo disk from another role. So how I prove to the customer that SAP is reporting correctly is I log into the SAP system and I go to transaction code SUIM. From there, I open up roles and go roles by complex selection criteria. In the user field, I put in the user ID. In the object field, I put in the object as they're shown in the rule. So if I go back and show the rule says that the user must have staboo disk with activity 01 with authorization group FC01 to FC02. When I put those values in and I execute this report, this will show me that this user receives those authorizations from SM30 role. Now, sometimes it's difficult to prove to management that this user truly can do what risk analysis and remediation says they can do. Because when they look at the user's access, and I'm just going to transaction code SU01 here, they'll say, well, the user has OBY7, but in that role it's display only. It will take you as the security person to explain to them that even though in this role OBY7 can display, the fact that they get another role with staboo disk allows the user to run OBY7. The best way for you to do that is to copy this user and log in and prove that the user can do what risk analysis and remediation says they can do. So right now, I'm just going to log on as this user. I'm going to run transaction code OBY7. Just in the interest of time, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to create a test chart of accounts and execute. Now by executing, you can see that this user does have the ability to copy the chart of accounts. Therefore, risk analysis and remediation is reporting the risk correctly based on how the rule is configured and the user's access. Just to prove that this is because the user has multiple roles, I'm going to log on to another ID that only has the OBY7 transaction code. So in here, again, this user only has the role for OBY7. I'm going to do another test with the exact same variables. And now when I try to do it, the user is prevented from doing it. Now, if I were to run analysis on this user, OBY7, the user will not show as having this conflict because they do not have the ability to edit using OBY7. So this, again, is a way you can prove to your managers that the report showing in risk analysis and remediation is accurate. Thank you for your time.